Hello, everyone. It's your mortgage agent, Erin Liu from LendCity Mortgage. April has been fully packed for me because I have been busy with a couple difficult deals. So for today's video, I want to talk about one of the situation, the deal that I have been working on with my special guest here today, Phil Board from Remax Team Guarantee Realties. Welcome, Phil. Thanks for coming
Hey, Aaron.
today.
How are you doing?
Good, good. Yeah, so like one of this deal I want to talk about with you because I want to share the information to the realtors, mortgage agents, and also even the clients. So based on if they have ever met this situation and what we can do to get this done and what they will be expecting from the lenders.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, with you in LendCity, it's a great mortgage brokerage. I don't like going anywhere else really because the communication has always been great with LendCity, especially you guys are right in our office too, as well as being on Wyandotte. So if I ever have a question, I can just walk over and ask you guys right away. I know I've dealt with a lot of other mortgage brokers before, and it would be a few days before they finally get back to me after calling them about 10 times. I'd finally get an answer back. But communication is huge in real estate. I preach communication with everybody with the lawyers I work with, the mortgage brokers I work with, and all my clients. I stress how much I like to communicate because without communication, so many things can go wrong.
Right.
And I need that in every part of my key players in the
That's true. Communication is always the key. I appreciate and I'm glad to hear that, and we will be your support for sure. So let's jump into the story that have happened before. So for this situation, initially, like we both think it will be straightforward, and because client has large down payment, and it won't be any issue on the financing part. But the issue comes back with seller's disclosure. Do you mind if you can talk a little bit about this situation?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we can talk about that. With the disclosure, we had when you disclose anything in a listing, and this was a water issue, and it wasn't anything a major water issue, but there was a water issue. The seller was adamant about making sure that the people knew about it, so they put it right in the listing because he wanted to be protected. But at the same time, when you do that, then the lenders see that and they get worried, and then
Yeah.
it makes a bigger situation than it actually is.
Right.
So I had to get a contractor to go through the house, and he did an estimate. It wasn't very much. It was just a little bit over $1,000 that had to be done in repairs.
Right.
But a lender made a big
Yeah.
issue about it, and nothing we couldn't overcome and take care of. So between the communication again between me and you, we were able to get the job done, and
Yeah.
everyone's happy.
Like for that disclosure, the water issue, like at our end, it doesn't seem like a big issue, right?
Yeah.
But on the lender side, when they look at the disclosure, and then they will and then when they look at the appraisal as well, so they will be like, oh my God, that's a huge problem. Like maybe, the water leakage will be damaged the house, or is there any structure
Yeah,
problem
they
coming?
don't know if the house is flooding. It's going to have 6 inches of water
Yeah, they
every
don't know.
rainstorm. The worst thing to put in a listing is as is, as you probably know. Lenders don't like that either. As soon as you put it as is, there are a lot of buyers that say that I just want to sell the house. I don't want anyone coming back to me. So put as is in it. And then I have to explain to the seller why we don't like to put as is in it, because mortgage companies, they see that and they don't like to lend out a mortgage when they see
Yeah.
those two little words.
Right, exactly. I don't know, for the listing part, I don't know, if there are any restriction or something like you have to disclosure or you have to write it down or you cannot write it down.
If there's something wrong with the house, you would have to disclose it, which everyone should do. Unfortunately, not everybody does
Like a
that, but
verbally would be work.
you can do it verbally. You can just have a written consent on
Right.
it. You can put it in the doc section in the listing, just a disclosure form that would outline all the problems of the house. But again, sometimes the seller just likes to say as is, and that way he knows that when it's sold, no one's going to come saying, well, this is wrong with it.
Right.
So, but when you have it again, that's when you have trouble getting a mortgage.
Yeah, yeah. I like it's pretty understandable on the seller side
Yeah.
that like they want to protect themselves, right? They want to make
It's
sure.
a little bit of a double-edged sword. The
Yeah.
seller gets what he wants, but then he has trouble of a
For the
buyer getting the
buyer.
mortgage to buy his house.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So for this situation, like I've been trying to, communicate with the lender to see if there any better way we can make it work and make the deal go through. So the lender asked for the inspection, that you help to get the contractor, get the quote, and luckily it doesn't cost much. Just
no,
yeah.
no.
So
And I knew it wouldn't too, because I knew what the problems were, and everything looked fine. I'm not a home inspector, so that's why I always like to have somebody go through it too and make sure, because they might see things that I might not. But everything panned out the way I saw how it was. I've been doing this for 18 years. I've done many, many home inspections with the home inspector, so I know what to look out for and have a pretty good idea.
that's
But
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
still always best to have a home inspector though,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, but you got a lot of experience now,
Yeah.
like you know where they will be looking.
Yeah, yeah. I follow them. I pay attention. I ask them questions, and then you learn.
That's awesome.
So knowledge is power
Yes, good for you. Any experience?
and experience. Well, you can have experience, but if you don't ask questions or try
Right.
to learn,
Exactly.
you can have all the experience you want, but it's no better than someone in their first year.
That's true. Yeah. So for this situation, and then finally between the communication with the lender, they can like because the lender initially they want the issue being fixed before
Yeah.
closing, which we couldn't do that because the seller like
Yeah, well, as I said, it's hard to ask a seller when you've bought a property to
Right.
go into your house and cut something
The
to the
roof,
roof
yeah.
and mess with your pipes and that.
I
So,
know, yeah.
if I owned a home, I sold it, I really wouldn't want people doing
No,
that. So
no,
until you actually
exactly.
have the house in possession, you really shouldn't be forced to try and make a seller.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And also the lender is pretty understanding that
Yeah.
as well after the explanation. So it end up with the lender will hold back the repairment cost on the closing date. But what they can do for the client is after closing, like post closing, and the client will find the contractor, come back to fix the issue, and usually they will ask for another inspection. But we're trying to save some cost for the client, so we asked the lender if the proof from the contractor and with the picture that everything being fixed would be doable and work for them, and they said it's okay for them. So
Yeah, and that one's closing next week, and I've got the contractor ready to go when he takes possession.
exactly, that's so everything is good. And
And I've already spoke to the lawyer, and because he actually called me about that too. He asked if there's going to be a problem, and so I explained to him, I've taken care of everything, got everything in place, so it won't be a problem. He's a lawyer that I've been using for a long time. He's a very, very good lawyer. Everyone I've sent, he has good feedback from my clients.
that's
So,
perfect. You have everyone in your line. You have mortgage agent, you have lawyers, so you have everything
home
for your clients.
inspectors,
Yeah.
you have to know who does what and when they're doing it, how they're doing it. You want to have competent people in your team.
Exactly.
When I first started, I learned the hard way sometimes
Yeah,
that
I
you
know.
need competent people around you to make the deal work properly and
And you have
smoothly.
a power team now.
Yeah, I've got probably one of the best teams you can actually get out there.
That's perfect. I'm glad like we make the deal work. And for me, getting the mortgage and purchasing the house is not only like me. It's not only one person's effort. It's the whole team. Like it's our teamwork. And I'm so impressed that when the lender come back with a question or ask for extra things, and when I do the communication with you, you always, being proactive to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So I never heard you complain actually for the deals I work with you. That's really
With every problem, there's a solution.
Yes.
You just get it done. You don't complain about it or get mad about it or say, no, I'm not getting you that. You just get it. If they ask for it, you get it.
Yeah.
I know there's been situations, and other agents I know that has been asked to get something for their clients for the mortgage, and they've flat out rejected not to get it. Which it was something as simple as a confirmation of representation. Just get it. It's easy. You have it there. It's nothing that's going to ruin the deal. You just get the information they ask for.
Yeah. You help a lot through like for this deal, like for finding the contractor and to do the communication, even though between the clients and yeah.
Yeah, you work hard. Well, we get paid well, so you should earn your money instead of just sitting back and waiting for that paycheck. Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure the deal. My job is to make sure the deal goes as smoothly and easily as possible.
Exactly. We have the same goal, like me, you, even though the clients, like our goal is to get the deal done
Yeah.
and close. And
Yeah, it's less stress-free on their client too. I want my client to feel relaxed, know that everything's being in good hands and
right.
getting taken care of. And
Yes.
that's the feedback I get back from my clients at the end of the deal. That
Yeah, that's true.
I made a lot less stressful for them and made smoother. And I've
Five-star
got
service
all five
experience.
stars and all really nice reviews I've gotten on the Google reviews on our Team Gorin site.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Perfect. And yeah, I think that'll be all for today. And hopefully, we shared a good information for everyone to learn and to expect what have happened if you have the same situation coming. And I appreciate your time, Phil.
My pleasure to be here, Aaron. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.